Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you all have joined me for another night of information, revelation, and change. As you know, during this month, I have been talking to couples. So I have talked to, last week I talked to JR and Sierra Oliphant. We talked to them about their marriage. They have been married going on like 13 years this year. And tonight we have another couple that's going to be on. But before we get to that couple, I want to remind you all that if you know a couple that wants to be on our couples conversations, they can send me an email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com and I can get them on the show and we can sit and have a conversation with them. Also, I'm continuing to do mentoring moments. And about 2 weeks ago, I had Pastor Kenneth Darrell Ray Clayton on from Patterson, New Jersey. And he was on, and he's my cousin, but he's an awesome pastor. And he was on, and we did a interview with him. And I am looking forward to doing more interviews with some of the men to see what their view of things are, because sometimes I look at stuff, I can admit it, one-sided, because I'm me and I'm a woman, so I look at things a little bit different. But it was nice to hear his thoughts and to hear a little bit about him that I didn't know. And he is my cousin, my first cousin. His mom and my mom are sisters, so we had a good time talking to him. If you would like to be a part of the show, let me know. wholebeautiful@gmail.com. I will get your email. I will contact you. I got some guests that are coming up in the upcoming months. Some people, some very interesting people that I've met, and some people who are making things happen and changing things. I believe that everybody has a story. It's just whether you want to share your story with me or not, that is your choice. But I believe that you have a story, so don't think, oh, I have nothing to say about me. You do. And if you send me that email, I can guarantee you we will find a story in your life that we can share with somebody else and be encouraging to them. So make sure that you are sending me those emails, and as you're coming in, make sure that you share this broadcast with somebody else. Let them know that Whole and Beautiful is on, and we are ready tonight to jump into our conversation. Tonight, we have, good evening, Francina. Tonight, we have Dana and Chauncey Fuller. And Alan, you can bring them in for me. I want to bring them on now. Hi, Dana and Chauncey.
Hello, Angela.
How are you all tonight?
We're good.
I had them on, it's been a little while ago that they were on, and then I told them that I wanted them to come back, and they agreed, and they have come back. And tonight we're just going to talk about them. When they were on before, we talked about their book, and we talked about their devotional, and it's still available, guys. Y'all can get in contact with them and get it. It's really, really good, and you don't have to be married to get the book.
Absolutely.
You can get the book and be single and get some good wisdom before you walk into marriage, or if you think about walking back into it again for a second time. You can also get that information, because the information is good whether you're married or not. Yes, Alan, get the book. Okay. So you all can, and we'll give you more information about where you can get the book from and all of that as we go on with the show on tonight. But before we get started into the questions and the interview part, will you, Chauncey and Dana, tell us a little bit about yourselves, who you are, and what you do?
Go ahead.
Go first.
I'm Dana Fuller, and Chauncey is my husband. We've been married almost 35 years. I'm a preschool teacher. I've always had a gift for children. I love what I do. I worked as a director, assistant director, but I've always found myself in the classroom with the children. We worship here in Burlington at the Well Church now, under the leadership of Pastor Calvin Little and his beautiful wife, Crystal Little. And we transitioned here in North Carolina almost 18 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 18 years ago from Florida, and we love North Carolina. We never want to move back to Florida. I guess that's enough about me.
And I'm Chauncey Fuller, of course, Dana's husband. I'm retired from the Postal Service for 34 years.
Wow.
Now I'm a realtor for North Carolina. So I've been enjoying doing that. I've been a realtor for almost 3 years, a little over 3 years, almost 4 years, and I'm enjoying that. So I enjoyed my career. I did that for 34 years, but I think the end part I did survivor benefits and disability benefits. I enjoyed what I did, helping people. So I enjoy real estate, all about helping people.
Wow. So that's like a career shift after. How was that? How was the career shift?
The first month was a little different because I was accustomed to time I clock in or get to work, it's always going. So I was accustomed to just being busy, immediately always going. When I retired, I felt like I had to do something. So I found myself one Friday, I changed our bedroom around, I shampooed the carpet, I mowed the grass, and I washed my car. And I was like, this is not what retirement's supposed to be like. So I had to try to slow down and kind of space myself instead of, always feel like I had to do something.
Oh, okay. That's it. But that's good though, because a lot of times, well, with me, I was looking at my age and stuff, and I was like, I can't do no career change right now. But I had thought about just changing some things. So that's like encouragement to me. It's like you can do it if you choose to. It's like you have to have your heart and your mind to do it, but you can do it. It's not impossible. Can you tell me, like in the listeners tonight, how did you all meet? You said you have been married now going to close to 35 years. So how did it all begin and where did you meet?
The reason why we're both laughing because we just had a couple's bonfire in our backyard. And that was one of the questions, how we met. And it wasn't pleasant. There was no attraction. We met at a church concert. And he felt like I was just old fashioned. And he told me I was going to never marry and be an old maid rocking in a chair.
Oh.
And look who he married, right?
Yes. He wanted that old fashioned rocking in a chair woman.
Yeah. So that's how we met. Yeah.
Oh wow. That is something. So it's like, okay, he thought you was old fashioned. What were your thoughts of him?
I thought he was a chauvinist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought he was a chauvinist and just not so much controlling, but he felt like women, he didn't want a woman to make more money than him, or it wasn't to the extreme, but there were chauvinistic traits within him. Yeah.
And then y'all ended up being together for 35 years.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. How have you made that work? Because I know things changed. You were saying there was no attraction there in the beginning. There was no like, we're gonna be together. How did you eventually get around to like now you're dating? How did you get from that point of like she gonna be an old lady sitting in a chair by rocking chair, and she thinking that you're chauvinist, and then y'all come together and end up dating? How did that happen?
Well, it really happened. We were at the same organization, the church, the same organization, but in different cities. But he ended up coming closer to where I live, which was about 45 minutes apart. And we would have like district meetings together, and we just started talking from there. And wow. he asked me to go out. We went out. Our first
It's no longer.
It was, oh my goodness, it was this restaurant called Grandy's.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yes. And oh my God, it was the best food. It tastes homemade. And that was our first date that we went to Grandy's for dinner. And we just started talking, and you know, he proposed.
Wow.
So we dated for about 2 years.
Oh wow, that is awesome. I was like, now there's hope for some people that's out there that's saying that maybe they have the same story.
Yeah,
because a lot of times the story doesn't start like that for a lot of people. They're saying, okay, they were attracted to this person, they were pursuing this person, but then it doesn't necessarily have to happen that way.
Right.
And I think, I think too, we started out as friends.
Right.
I think that had played a great role, that it wasn't this exotic eros love, but you know, it was just friendship. And we built from there. We started discovering one another just through conversating and talking. And I think it grew from there, just starting out as friends.
Yeah. And we got to know each other. So a lot of times we have perceptions of how people are, but once you get to really know the people, then it changes. So getting to know each other helped out.
Without jumping right into bed.
Right. Because then you don't get to know the person.
Exactly.
And your vision is clouded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't make the right decision because it's clouded, because you've experienced eros love. So now that's all you can see. You can't think about, okay, is this person really right for me?
Right.
No. Right in bed, yes.
Yeah, but it may not be right
other than that. Yeah. And we know that the eros love, you can't build a foundation on that, because how many people you have that have been divorced 3 and 4 times? Right. The eros was good, but other than that, they can't go past that.
Yeah, and it's good to have that friendship foundation, because you always will have that friend.
Right. Yes.
Right.
And that is awesome. I want to welcome tonight Francina. Thank you for joining us. Josie, thank you for joining us and tuning in. And hello, Victoria Henderson. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And also Linda Cooks. Okay. Thank you for joining in. Also, we got us a full house almost tonight. That's good. I wanted to ask you all, how do you settle disagreements? Because sometimes in a marriage, I know you're going to have disagreements. You're going to have different things. And I've heard different people say different things on how they
handle conflict.
Oh, she froze. Still there? You can text.
Are y'all here?
Yes,
now we are.
Y'all back. Okay, yeah. But how do you deal with disagreements in your marriage?
I think what we've learned through the years is to not to listen, to understand, even if we don't agree, but to listen, to understand, and not listen to respond to what the person is saying.
Right.
And that just really helped me. I know it helped me. and I think too, something that we learned this through the years is not to bring up something, like if we're having a disagreement, we can't go back. And we told each other, I'm your accountability and you're my accountability. So if I bring something up that has passed, he would say, wait, that's the past, and I have to accept. he's my accountability and I'm his. Right. And we can't bring anything up that was in the past. And that just helped that, that helps us. But we just learn to listen, to understand and not to respond. And really just to say, giving each other time if he needs, but we had to voice that because I feel like I was trying to read his mind and I thought he could read mine, like he had ESP and he didn't. And so we learned to how would you say we
learn to, just like you said, to and not to react to everything. So everything you kind of have to think before you respond and not react, because a lot of times we react on emotions. So yeah, that just aggravated me. So but every time something is not necessary to say something right then, be careful of what you say.
Yeah,
be careful.
Yeah. Because you can't take those words back once they're out there. That is so true. I know y'all have, how many children do you all have?
2 young men.
2 young men. And they are grown now, right?
Yes. 30 and 20.
Almost 27.
Okay. So how is life, married life, without the kids being empty nesters?
Hallelujah.
Love it.
Yeah. And so what's so amazing about that is our youngest one was just here in town with us a couple of weeks ago. And he said, wow, Mom, you and Dad, y'all are so in sync with each other. And he said, like, y'all just living your life. And I think that the reason why we can do that is that when they were home, our world didn't evolve around our children.
Okay.
The empty nest syndrome.
Yes.
Where, you put everything into the children. Everything's about the children, everything. And so when they leave, then there's no connection with, it was the children that bonded us together.
Right.
But they're gone and they're like, where are you all? We'll say, they'll call and say, oh, we're in Savannah, or we're, in Virginia, or they're like, well, you guys never stay home. And
you have a little bit more money since you all are gone. That's number one. So
but we're enjoying it. It was so funny, like especially when he retired, because I'm still working. So when I would come home, though, he would be ready to talk. He'll meet me at the door, and I say, we had a conversation about, I do believe in talking about it, and I said, give me a few moments. Give me a few moments when I get home, but because he's been home and he's on the computer, he's with clients, customers and all, and I don't been with children all day. Yes. And he, so he's like, okay, so he come, once we had that conversation, I felt like, and I told him that, I said, you're taking it to the extreme. I don't want you to not talk to me.
You want to talk? You tell me you want to talk. Don't tell me not to talk. Now, but on the other onset, when I was working, Dana got home before me, but she had her whole hour to wind down.
Yes.
Whatever. So when I came in, she was ready to talk if she, or not, because she's already had her time to wind down. So but it's an adjustment, but we're adjusting.
Yeah. Well, that is good. That takes me to another question I had wanted to ask and I think you have answered it, but when you are married, do you think that each person needs to have like time to themselves?
Oh, absolutely.
Like some time without their spouse.
Absolutely. We love our time together.
Yes.
And we both love individual time. So she takes her time, I take my time, and we take time together. We love all of it, individual and
even and so often people say that, and I've heard couples say this, that, oh, I never I never want to be away from my husband, or I never want to be away from my wife. Anything with any place where she goes, I want to be there. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that to a certain degree, but I don't think that's healthy.
Right.
I
Right.
think even Jesus went off
To be alone.
So it's just a time for you to reflect, a time for you to it's just self-care, just caring for, and I know this summer was my first summer not working in years. And I would leave the house like 8 a.m. and go to the park and just read and meditate. I would listen to music, and I would be, it wasn't every day, but I would go out to the park, and that was my time. And I would be out there sometimes like 4 hours, 8 to like 12. He would call or text and say, hey, just checking on you, making sure you're okay. And I'm good. But I think that even though people may not, you may not do that self-care and that self-time, but I think you should do it in a relationship. I think it's important.
Yeah. Because it's like what I'm hearing with the both of you, and that's what I really like, is that you kept your individuality, but you're still a team.
Yes.
So it's like some people will say, oh, where they lost themselves and they got so involved in the other person, they really didn't know who they were. But it's like you both have kept who you are and even meshed that together as a team, and you still didn't lose yourself in the process.
But at the beginning part of our marriage, though, I did felt like I was losing myself. But it wasn't because Chauncey made those expectations. Those were expectations that I put on myself. Okay. And I made him my God. He didn't tell me to make him my God. I did that. Right. And I no one can. I always say, he can't make me happy. I can't make him happy. You know how when two people come together, there's a cup. He's a cup. I'm a cup, and his cup has to be full. My cup should be full as well. But sometimes I think in relationship, those two cups, you have two half full cups, but I should be already whole when I marry him, and he should be whole when he marries me, and then the overflow comes from that. But I think so often that when couples do get married, they don't know who they are. There's so often that, a lot of times we may think we know who we are, but we really don't know who we are. And I have to know who I am as my father, Heavenly Father's daughter, as a daughter, because if I don't know who I am when I go into a relationship, there's no way I'm going to love him.
We don't have this issue. Okay, you can go ahead. It's like it froze a minute. I have not had this problem. This information will get out to these people.
Okay, but I think if both parties are healthy and whole, not perfect when you come in a relationship,
right,
but healthy and whole, then you're able to experience the overflow of that cup flowing over.
Yeah, and not like a half empty. And
like people say, you got to give 50-50, and I've never believed it's 50. It's 100%. I never want half of him, and I shouldn't give him half of me. But come and give your 100%. Marriages work all by itself, but if I'm just giving half, that's just that's going to make it even harder to I don't say hard, but that's
more challenging.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Do you in a marriage, do you feel like that you can have friends of the opposite sex as being like your friend? That because I had somebody ask that question to a couple, and they were saying that they did have friends that were outside of their marriage, but it was like they had boundaries with those relationships. But and some people feel like it's fine. You can go hang out with your friends, but I was like, I have different opinions. But I was just wondering how you all feel about that.
We and I think we both feel this way. Is I think every marriage is different, and because each individual is different.
Right.
But we believe that if you don't agree with it, then you shouldn't go forward with it. If one partner strongly doesn't agree with it, I think sometimes that can alleviate a lot of conflict in a relationship. Whether it's buying a car, whether it's buying a house, if you're not together on it, then you shouldn't go forward in it. Now with us, we do. I don't have any male friends outside, but Chauncey has female friends, but I know them.
And their boundaries.
And there are boundaries, and there are conversations and we've had that conversation about it, that there's things that you are a male. Do I trust you? Yes, but at the same time, you have to be careful with conversation that you have with with the opposite sex, because your intentions could be fine, but you don't know what the other person's intentions are. So I think every relationship is different, but I feel like it's couples coming together and having those conversations about those issues, and how would you go about in it. Like I say, I don't have any male friends like that. Most of my friends are couples. All of our friends are couples. So I don't have, but I tell you, I'll say this. It was a guy when we was dating that he didn't want, we all went out. We weren't even married then, but we had all went to the mall together. And the guy, you remember. And the guy he said, "Oh, he likes you." I said, "Ooh," but in his mind, he said, "I know men. I know what's in their mind. I know." He said, "I'm telling you, he's attracted to you." And so he felt a little, I don't know if it was insecure or he just felt like, watch the boundaries with that. Yeah. I think more watch the boundaries. You know who I'm talking about now?
I can't remember.
Okay, I'll remind.
I can't remember. That was in the past.
He said that was in the past.
But yeah, he does have female friends. So, and I'm fine with it as long as, especially I know who they are.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right. How do you how have you been like intentional in your marriage? Because y'all seem like y'all are real like intentional with what you're wanting and how you handle things. Has it always like been like that, or did you grow into being intentional with everything?
We grew. I went to a ladies' a Bible study on it's every Saturday for 6 weeks, and she came up with this acronym called KUA, and the K was the K was knowledge, the U was understanding, the W was wisdom, and the A was application. And we learned KUA. we learned we got the knowledge, we got the understanding, but we learned the application, because you can get knowledge and understanding, but if you never in the wisdom about marriage, about relationship, and she calls it KUA. I love that, Pastor Angela. I'm gonna give her kudos to that. But I think we learned that. We learned application. We learned. I learned to soften my tongue. I learned to really seek the Holy Spirit, when to talk, when to be quiet. We never say when to shut my mouth, But we learned. We both did, and we're still learning. We're still learning. We still have those conversations, but like you said, it's all about being intentional, deliberate with the conversations, being deliberate with spending time together, being that we're 35 years, we're going to a marriage conference tomorrow. So wow. It's still
not a plateau.
Yeah, I said you can never cap off. You know when people say, "Oh, Chauncey and I had went to an event that somebody invited us to," and they said, "Oh, it should have been some young couples here, because everybody here been married. Everybody here been married for years. It's not about the amount of years, 35 years, that I'm still wanting to hear. Oh, wait a minute, what's something else that I can add to he's listening to something that he can do. I'm listening, but just being intentional. He's home now, so he's putting a little. I always did that because I would pack his lunch for work. But guess what? Now he's home, he's packing my lunch and he's putting little notes in there. So he's being more intentional in our ladder. We're on the other side of it.
Right.
And being on the other side, we made it through the process. And so we're now on the other side. But being on the other side doesn't cause you to become lackadaisy.
Right.
You still have to be intentional. And like I said, we're still doing the work to keep the flames burning.
There's maintenance that has to be taken care of. Just like a car, you have to take it to have oil change after a certain amount of time, the tires rotated and balanced. Marriage has maintenance as well. You can't just get married and just say, okay, it's gonna work on its own. No, there's maintenance that has to take place as well.
I like that. I do. Because a lot of people do, they think, I had said it before to some other people that I had talked to, was like, it's like it's merging two companies together. Like when one company is coming and this other company, and they're merging those companies so that they can have a better company. They're taking the good things out of both and putting them together. And I like the fact that you were saying that it's maintenance, and you have to take the time to maintain what you have and to continue to grow. Just like y'all going to the marriage conference on tomorrow. I'm like, yes. It's good to see the growth that you never cap off, that you always grow.
Yes.
That's awesome. I love that. What marital advice do you think is like universal? It will be universal for all marriages, like something that you think that would be good in each marriage. Because I know each marriage is going to have its rhythm, and they're going to have to find their own rhythm and their own pace and how they deal with stuff. But do you think there's like a piece of advice out there that would be like for all marriages that they could go by?
I think just the pursuit, whether you were 5 years in, 10 years in, the pursuit is lifetime. And I think sometimes we, how you start out with we know how to start the ground running in the relationship. We're good. The sparks are there. The connection is there. And then I think sometimes down the road, a lot of times it's the children come
and life
happens. And I always say for women, especially for women, that when you have your child, you don't stop being a wife.
Right.
He still has, you still create, what's the word I want to say? You're still a king builder. So I still have to take time out for him. Right. But I think never stop pursuing each other. Even if the things that you do in the pursuit may change because we change. But I think that if we take on the mentality of continuing everyone to continue to pursue each other in that relationship, whether 5 years, 10 years, 20 or 30 years, 40 or 50 years, always, I still like getting love letters in the mail,
Yeah.
I still like to hear, what, like, I'll say this here, he put a little note.
Don't do too much.
A little note in my thing saying, what he enjoys about what part of my body he likes those things like that. And I think sometimes when we start doing those things, but we want to do the act,
right?
If he never does those things and I come home and he's all over me, but I've never hear those things, I never hear what you like about my body, what your smile is beautiful. Same with me. I love your bottom, baby. I love squeezing your buns. And if I'm just jump on him and he just jumps on me, I think that's a disconnect.
Right.
But when we talk about those things, we pursue each other throughout our day. the text messages throughout the day. When I come home, I'm like, oh my God, I'm ready to hug on him, love on him, embrace him, kiss him, stroke him, caress him, and vice versa. But just I think for me, just never stop pursuing each other. What you think?
And I have two things. Number one, never forget you're a team. That's number one. Never forget you're a team. You have to remind yourself consistently that you are a team.
Right.
You're not against each other. And the second one, like we've said before, listen to understand and not to respond. Most of the times when somebody's trying to share their hearts, you're trying to figure out, okay, what's my next point? What am I going to get? Especially early on, it's about trying to get your point across. But listen to understand what the person is saying and not just to respond. And those would be my two takes.
Oh, awesome. I love it. I wanted to ask you all too, with Dana, I wanted you to describe Chauncey in like 3 words. And then Chauncey, I wanted you to do the same for Dana.
Chauncey is he's loyal, he's humorous, and he's very loving.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We have some of the same. So remember, the loyal is the same. Oh, she loves God. I mean, oh gosh, she said in 3 words. That's kind of hard. Oh,
godly.
Because I want to.
I don't want to give it to you.
Loyal. I want to say committed, but her commitment is to she's committed to God and committed to her family.
Okay.
She loves God and loves her family. So that's how I can't do it. I mean, I can't even think of one word to describe that, but that's what it is. So you would say loyal, committed, and she loves. So those, but the adjectives needed to be taught. Okay.
Oh, it's good. Now I'm gonna do like this rapid fire questions. And you can choose each other which one does what, and then we're gonna come back and let you all share where they can get in contact with you, where they can get your book, because your book is still available and it's a good book, and we want them to be able to contact you to get that also. So my first rapid fire question is, who is the morning person? Who goes to bed first? When going out on a date, who is dressed first? Who apologizes first? Who is more spontaneous? We asked this earlier before we started, but who drives faster? Who is more of a romantic? Okay. Who is more talkative? It's like a tie on that one. Who said I love you first?
Me? Okay.
And who is more outgoing? He is. Okay. Well, thank y'all for answering my rapid fire question. Now, can you all tell us how, if someone wanted to get in contact with you about the book, or if they wanted to purchase the book, where would they go to, and give us the name again of the book and everything, and let everybody know about that, even though we were talking about your marriage, but we want them to know about your book also.
Well, the title of the book is Bridging the Gap, Couples Devotion Book. And you can go on Barnes & Noble or Amazon to purchase the book.
Okay. And and you also do marriage, It's Monday nights with the
We do Monday marriage moments with the Fuller every second Monday of the month. And it's just, we just do a small little 5 to 8 minutes. It could be, we have a little topic. It could be about conflict versus resolution. It could be about creating sparks, just finances. We've done it on everything. So just small little 10 tidbits on just relationship tips.
Okay, and then that's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and we usually Chauncey usually posts
sometime that
day that we'll be going, and we go live.
Usually 6:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on a Monday.
On the second Monday in every month.
And sometimes I get to catch it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I go back though. Okay. I go back and look at it if I don't get it. And I was like, oh, I need to make sure my notification thing is on. So because sometimes I get it and then sometimes I don't. And I was like, I missed it. I'm sitting right here. But I enjoy the information that you all give out on those Mondays. And I enjoy your book. Your book is awesome. I love the book. It gives you insight into so many different areas. And I'm glad I got the book. And like I told y'all can get it in y'all single too. It says a couple of the books, but you can also get the information, sit down and take it in. And it helps you either way. Even in your relationships, your friendships, it can help you too. So I am so glad that you all have joined me tonight. I'm glad that you shared a little information for us on tonight that people can get a revelation and bring about a change in their own lives. Yes. Any other closing words or anything that you would like to share before we?
Can I just read? This is something that I found, and can I read this real quick? It says, no one has a great marriage, an amazing sex life, fantastic conversation, a healthy relationship, and incredible intimacy by accident. It takes work and being intentional at creating it.
Wow.
And when I had seen this and I just thought about this segment, and I just like, it takes work. It doesn't just happen by accident. You have to put the work in and put the time in and in the money. You got to invest in your relationship, going to workshop, going to conferences, whatever you read, getting books on relationships. You have to put the time in it. It's not, marriage isn't hard. It really isn't. Right. Once we get the knowledge and we apply it, it's not hard, but we make it hard when we don't put the work into it.
Yeah. And you're not intentional about it.
Yes.
It's awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I love talking to y'all. I really do.
Thank you. We love you having us.
Well, you all enjoy your marriage conference on tomorrow.
Thank you.
And have a great weekend, guys. I thank you all for joining me tonight. I thank you for being here and allowing us to talk to you in your homes, in your car, wherever you're listening at, wherever you're seeing us at. And know that we'll be back here next week, 7 p.m. I'll be back with Whole and Beautiful. If you missed any part of this broadcast, it will be back on tomorrow at 4 p.m. so you can watch the replay. But until we meet again, I am Angela Oliphant, allowing you to see, hear, and to know that Whole and Beautiful is not just your destination. It is most definitely your journey. So, guys, join me back here again next week, 7 p.m. Until then, good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.